Hello and welcome to Dunmail Park for the West Cumbria Motorsport Club Rallytest production car auto test. We're here today on a very blustery Sunday for some excellent clubman motorsport.
The West Cumbria Motorsport Club are testing a new idea this weekend, combining the precision of auto testing with the driver and navigator teamwork of rallying. 5 tests over a mixture of sealed and loose surfaces lie ahead, with the best 4 runs to count. Plenty of time to settle that old rivalry, rear wheel drive versus front wheel drive. Out for the morning test, and front wheel drive was to have the early advantage. Jeff Ray's Corsa taking the early lead. Keeping things neat and mistake free was paying off. Richard Barnard and Pete Lister were flying at the rear wheel drive flag. Although the Beamer looks quite big, it's clearly effective. Fastest time on the second test, keeping them in touch by the lunchtime break. Another big car, Nigel Moffat's Celica, was running well. Strong top 5 times on the morning tests, leaving him third. Chasing the Celica down, Craig Stamper's Saxo was also in the hunt. The question was, could the more nimble Citroen catch the Toyota on the last 2 tests? Tipped to go well, Chris Hunter and Fiona Tyson's day didn't start well, with a navigational mix-up on the first test. But once Chris was listening, they jumped up the leaderboard to lie 5th by lunch. Five seconds back, it was an early 6th for Trevor Payne's 106. Another 5 seconds back, Stuart Moffat was on the fight back after a slow time on test 1. Stuart navigating for Nigel in the Celica, with Nigel returning the favour in the Micra. Not quite able to match Trevor's pace in the 106, Terence Pete was only 7 seconds back from Stuart after 3 tests. But Terence also had to watch his back. The newer Shape MX-5 of Philip Hodgson and Ian Giles was only 1 second behind him after the 3 tests. Running out the top 10 at this point, Gavin Neate was another on a recovery drive after a slow time on the first test. Novas have recently become the front-wheel drive autotest car of choice, taking over from the original Mini. Thomas Parry's example was an early 11th. Drew McLean's MX-5 became the first victim of the short gravel section, the low-slung sports car needing a helpful tow out. Sharing the car with Gavin Neate, Paul Heslop entered the lunch halt on equal times with McLean's MX-5, setting up a nice battle for the afternoon runs. First of the Ford Kaz, Sam and Colin Trotter were in early 14th. Second of the Mark I MX-5's Dan McKelvey was 15th in the car he was sharing with Nathan Smith. Testing out their newly purchased Chevette, Simon Graham and Martin Breen quickly discovered it had the world's most open diff. Still, it was nice to see such a rare car out competing. They were also on equal times with the Corsa of Alfie and Timothy Hill. Also in this battle was the rather standard-looking Clio of Robbie and Ian Wozencroft, doing things like proper clubmen, driving the car to and from the event. Steve Adair's car was running well in the opening test until a tyre popped off the rim. 3 maximums were taken while the car was taken away to get the tyre refitted. Josh and Mark Shaw were also in tyre troubles when a rear popped on their Clio. Didn't stop them having fun, however. It wasn't really the day to have a Mark 1 MX-5, Nathan Smith becoming victim number 2 of the short gravel section. Sharing their Fiesta, Mark and Robert Messenger were lying second and third respectively after 3 tests, but unfortunately they would go no further, the gearbox crying enough. Also going no further, Mary Hines and Ross Glazebrook's Corsa suffered a broken drive shaft after perhaps a bit too much flamboyance.
Jeff, it's a windy day today, but you seem to be carrying the pace.
Yeah, I seem to be getting on all right, nice and dry. So,
how are you enjoying the longer test?
a lot better. Good 3 minutes course. A bit more interesting than a 40-second one line. But yep, good.
Excellent, good. Best of luck for the rest of the day.
Thanks a lot.
Chris Hunter and Fiona Tyson, you're out for the battle for the rear-wheel drive class today. Are you enjoying yourself?
We're enjoying ourselves very much. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, it's really good. Enjoying it. Good tests.
Reckon you're on for the win today?
I'm not sure about a win, but as long as we beat the other Mazdas, we'll be fine.
Excellent.
Out for the 2 afternoon tests, and although the weather improved, the attrition rate continued, with the Heslop Neat Hyundai, Simon Graham's Chevette and the McKelvey Smith MX-5 falling by the wayside. Rounding out the finishers, Alfie and Timothy Hill grabbed a solid 12th in the Corsa, finishing just 10 seconds down on the Shaw's Clio. But winning the private Clio battle, the Wozencrofts were a further 6 seconds up the road. Tyre refitted, Steve Adair was back on the pace in the afternoon, amazingly finishing on the exact same time as the other car of Sam and Colin Trotter in the battle to be top Ford. Once free of the gravel, Drew McLean and Julie Carter recovered to 11th place. 6th early on, Trevor Payne slipped back in the afternoon to grab 10th place at the finish. The rear-wheel drive cars were finding their groove in the warmer conditions, Philip Hodgson and Ian Giles taking 9th, 11 seconds clear of Payne. Just 5 seconds up the road came the Nova of Thomas Parry and Trevor Place in 8th. Craig Stamper's Saxo was another car to lose ground in the afternoon to finish 7th overall, but the top 7 were covered by less than a minute. Nine seconds up the road, Terence Peat was victorious in his 106 battle with Payne, grabbing a solid 6th. Fifth overall was an impressive result for Nigel Moffat's big Celica. Taking fourth and the class win, Richard Barnard and Pete Lister were happy with their day out, particularly Pete, who had finally won a club trophy after years of trying.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, it was quite difficult with the longer test, but once you get used to it, it's certainly a good challenge.
And Pete, didn't get lost on the diagrams too much?
No, I had all that worked out just before we started. I made sure I knew where we were going, which side was which, and how far we were going around the corners. So yeah, we made it round.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. You know, it took a lot of effort to put this event on, but to get 25 crews, and you know, hopefully we can go from this, iron out the problems that we've had. You know, it was always going to be a test event, this, and then move forward and make them better and better, and hopefully put on a championship next year.
Flying up the leaderboard from 7th to 3rd with 2 top 3 times over the afternoon tests, it was an impressive result for the Micra of Stuart Moffat. Knowing the more powerful cars were coming fast, Jeffrey had to try everything to stay in front. Unfortunately, a mistake on the 4th test combined with the drop times didn't quite work in his favour, and he had to settle for the class win and 2nd overall. Chris Hunter and Fiona Tyson threw everything they had at the afternoon test, setting 2 fastest time of the days over the final runs to grab the overall win in their MX-5. A great recovery after that early slip-up.
Chris and Fiona, winners today of the Dunmail Park Rallytest. How do you feel?
Very good. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's been a good event, yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
The weather hasn't been too bad. It's been a cracking venue, very well organised, well marshalled. Time the results, couldn't be better.
So Hunter wins the first ever production car rally test. Hopefully the West Cumbria Motorsport Club can continue to develop this idea into something bigger and better in 2018.